Welcome. Today we're going to discuss the technique Fatal Deviation, its execution, some of the things that go wrong during its execution, things that you can do to compensate for that, and just general things that you should know about the technique. So this is an advanced technique. We're going to be dealing with two life attacks, the right and the left. So the first thing we need to do is gauging. Depending on my size and his size and how far we are from one another, depends on whether I step forward or I step back. Also, obviously, environment, that's our first consideration. If I have a closed environment, I'm always forced to step forward. I can't go back. But right now we have an open environment, so I can choose depending on how I gauge or read the opponent. So if he's really far, he's stepping in, I might want to close the gap and start attacking. But if we're really close, I might want to step back. So think about this like 5 swords. He steps in, I get my block, I'm going to do my 5 swords, but he beat me to the punch, literally, so I have to now turn my offense into a defense by shortening my circle, and then continuing my 5 swords. Instead of doing the 4-finger poke, we're closing our hand, and then instead of being on the low, so attacking low, because our hand's high, we're going to take the high zone again. Remember, you're on the inside of the arm, so we want to cancel the height. Now keep in mind, I could still go from this block to an offense before getting the other block by elongating the circle. But again, we're dealing with 2 life attacks. These are possibly very dangerous for me. I don't want to get hit with one of those, so I might want to just take the shorter route, make sure I get the block in effect. From here, making sure your elbow's anchored. You don't want to be punching with your elbow unanchored. You want to make sure it's anchored, and you shift all the way to your forward bow, because this is going to stop his forward momentum. And then I'm going to start working on his height. So we're going to be canceling the height. Now keep in mind, like we mentioned in a lot of our videos, this is the long version of the technique. You could also do short versions of the techniques or the middle version. For instance, if we were here and I do this, I might want to go straight into shielding hammer, rake, hit with the elbow and cover out. I don't have to do the rest of the technique. But we're sticking to the ideal phase where we talk about all the concepts and principles that are in the technique, so we're going to continue. So the next thing that can go wrong here is with this press. A lot of the times, because we're going to be moving forward to hit him with the heel palm, we deliver the press in a horizontal, and what happens is I do this, and he's no longer there for the follow-up strikes. So what you want to do is think down at a 45. So as I settle, I want to think down at a 45, like I'm pushing his butt down into a chair, making him squat, and I'm going to be gauging him. Just like we gauged at the beginning, whether I step back or step forward, I'm going to gauge where he goes so that I have him at the distance that I want for my hand, for my follow-up strikes. So from the hand sword, I'm going to be pressing down, and again, this is a strike, I don't just want to touch him, and down at a 45. So I'm going to be pressing in as I settle, use my weight, keeping the arm aligned so that I can hit, but he'll keep him where I want him so that I can hit with the hand. So a thing that can go wrong here is you think your arm's a 2x4 and you're swinging it like a 2x4, you forget you got joints. You want to make sure your wrist is the pivot point. So if I face you guys, you want to make sure that you can see the wrist is turning. You're primarily using the shoulder and the wrist. The idea here is I want to hit the side of the jaw, start turning his head to his left or my right as I push his hips back so that I can now hit his leg to the right, my left, but his right. This is where we start getting our fatal deviation. The body's going in 3 different places. So from here, we're going to do our knee and our elbow. Remember, anytime we're doing knees and elbows, you want to have a compact unit. And again, we're going to start deviating, so we're going to get off our line, start going to the diagonals. So I'm going to go inside of the leg and inside of the jaw. Now this is a vice leg maneuver. I'm controlling the jaw so I can sandwich it, keeping it between my hands. And then from there, I'm going to now deviate to the other line as I buckle the leg. Hammer fist. Now keep in mind that this head could be coming down, so I want to have this hand checking, make sure I don't get a headbutt. Then I'm going to again hit the knee as I go to the opposite corner, and I'm going to add my slices. So a thing that can go wrong here, I do the knee, I land, and now I try to do my slice, and he's nowhere near me because I've already walked away from my strikes. Now keep in mind, these are minors, they're going to the eye, so you don't need that much backup mass. So the idea is, as I hit with the knee, I'm hitting with the fingers, and as I land, I hit with my other ones. The idea here is to learn how to do your slices correctly, your backup mass for the finger, so you're always hitting with the middle finger first. So we go palm up with the left, palm down with the right, as I cover out if I choose. Now, again, that's the long version of the technique. If I was talking to this guy, we were fighting, I might just want to do the end of the technique and I don't have to do the beginning, but that's again up to you how you want to gauge and decide to do the technique. So we'll do a quick walkthrough one more time. Double attack from the front, both in-flight majors. Get your block, think 5 swords. Start canceling the height. Don't push them away while you do this. Down at a 45, get the turn of the head. Compact unit for the elbow and the hand. Hit here, get the slice. Settle, don't walk away from your slice. And cover out. One more time without the explanation. Up. We hope this video helps you. Thank you very much.